Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, people. Hello and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO, people. Listen, Big Ange is being found out, but still some people in the media are protecting him because he plays a good style of play. We all know what that means. You have position, you huff and puff, but you don't score goals. But in the same time, a lot of people are criticizing Mikel Arteta on the other hand. A lot of people are making fun of Arsenal for some reason, for the defensive masterclass that Arteta plays. Oh, he's playing defensively. He's turning it into Sean Dyche, Pulis, all this stuff. And we're going to show you some couple of videos about what that means. And also, there is a notion that Man United are still ahead of Spurs and Chelsea. Is that true? And where does Chelsea rank now at the current moment? There's a lot of ups and downs. We got Shez back. Of course, he was away for a while. Big up Shez that is here. Of course, Henry is making his debut on the channel. Big up Henry, of course. If you guys are not subscribed to Henry, his channel is pinned in the description. He's going to have a show after this. Of course, we'll direct you at the end to the show and what he's going to have after this, guys. And Jay is here, of course. The Arsenal supporter, of course, is here from Rivals Rumble. Jay is here, of course, supporting Arsenal. Big up everybody that is here. 400 people. We are just starting. Big up everybody that joined us, of course, after the Football Terrace. Hit that like button, people. Let me know what you think in the chat. We need the likes up at least to 300. It is important. Keep them lit. How is everybody doing? Everybody's happy? Back from now where everybody's good?
How are you, Henry?
Yeah, I mean, that was painful, wasn't it? I've sort of calmed down to a degree, but Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I was livid. Yesterday I woke up this morning. It was kind of like, well, you know, there's another game coming, and the easiest way to get over a defeat is win your next game. But I'll be honest, I'm not hugely confident. Coventry did well in the FA Cup last year. They got to the semi-final. We've got big man Hadji right up front.
You can't be scared of Coventry.
This is Spurs, bro.
You can't be scared of Coventry, bro.
No way.
Like,
I'm
no
not
way
scared of
we're
Coventry.
sitting here. You aren't doing, bro. No way. Big
I'm not
Ange
scared of
style of
Coventry,
playing.
but our front line at the moment, this is the perfect game for Dominic Solanke to go and build some confidence. Go and get a couple of goals, then go into Brentford, who are without Visa, however you pronounce it, they're without him. But at the moment, I've got a huge question mark, and obviously everyone knows my thoughts and opinions have changed. I'm Ange out. I don't see any.
Can I show you a clip then? Can I show you a clip? Let me show you guys a clip about what the media, some people, this is Mark Gorbridge talking about Ange Postecoglou after the game.
Can I just shock you? I'm actually going to defend him a little bit. I think at the end of the day, some of the stuff that was said about him last week and what he said after the game, I think Spurs have played quite well. They just can't put the ball in the back of them. They only lost 1-0, mate. Look at the starting team yesterday. Yeah, Arsenal were definitely always going to play counter-attacking with no Odegaard and Rice. They were always going to be a threat from set pieces and they score from it. Spurs, Ange, I couldn't believe it when he started the team. Really, only defensive midfielder was Ben Tanker. He's got Maddison and Kulusevski in a midfield three. Then he's got Johnson, Son and Solanke. It's attacking and they can't put the ball in the back of the net. He got jumped on last week being asked about the Arsenal game and basically saying, you know, I'd hate to think there's players in my dressing room that value the win over this team more than anyone else. I agree with him. Last season against bloody Man City, rivalry fucked up their Champions League. That's what rivalry did for Spurs last year. We can't let Man City win because Arsenal will win the title. So we don't end up in the Champions League. All right, Arsenal don't win the league. What he's saying is, I don't want to have players in the dressing room that get up for certain games because the downside of that, rivalry will make you not get up for the Man City game. He wants a team that wins every week. He wants trophies. He's ambitious. If Ten Hag walked out of Man United, I'd pick Ange up tomorrow. Can I just shock you? I'm actually going to...
You see the hang of it. Like, and that's not only him, though. There is a lot of people that, and a lot of Spurs fans that are like kind of tricked by this position-based football. We are pressing the opposition. Oh, Newcastle, we pressed Newcastle. We kind of peppered their goal. Against Arsenal, we were the better team. And I actually believe, that is my opinion, and I want your opinion as well, everyone here. This is masking actually the results. When you have position all the time, you remember the old say, but we had position, but we were the better team, but we passed more, we completed more passes, and we had more touches in the 18. As now, that happens one game. The problem with Spurs is that, how many games you said in your rant, Henry, that you kept a clean sheet? 4 games in the last 30 games.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, that happens once. It's ridiculous, to be honest, that people still defend. Like, I'm all about position-based football, but if you're losing games, bro, just cut it out, bro. Just cut it out.
You can have all the position in the world, but the result's the most important thing. Obviously, big up Mark. He's obviously he's entitled to his opinion. Ange,
everybody's entitled to his opinion.
Ange at Man United is completely different to Ange at Tottenham because, like, having all the possession is one thing, but we had a manager before where we had Jose Mourinho, who got Harry Kane to have his best season, and we was averaging 44%. Yet Kane and Son both individually, Son won the Golden Boot, Harry Kane won the Playmaker Playmaker of the Year award that year. When I look at Tottenham, there's 5 or 6 huge problems. The first problem is we've had 4 clean sheets in 37 games. That's one game off an entire season with 4 clean sheets. We've lost 7 of our last 11 games. Relegation form. We have an attacking manager, but we are not scoring goals. A Tottenham player has not scored in 180 minutes. We've had all the possession in the world against Leicester, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Everton. Let's be real. Beating Everton 4-0 is not a huge impressive victory because they are in the pits right now. They are in the gutter. Like, Sean Dutch has probably got 2 games left before he's sacked, right?
Yeah.
Having all the possession in the world against Arsenal is great, but we knew their game plan. We knew the blueprint is out there on how to beat Tottenham. You just have to sit back and counter. And if Brentford had a fully fit Wisa and Buemo, I'm not confident, bro. We play, our formation is a 2-8. A 2-8. Because our fullbacks are like 10s. Maddison has to drop so deep to get onto the ball. There's huge inefficiencies of his tactics. I don't necessarily disagree. I actually disagree with Goldbridge, because we had to me and George was having this conversation earlier. He kind of had to go with 2 10s because to kind of put that extra pressure on Arsenal's midfield and backline. Where we went wrong is the minute we get it out wide, it's the same. The idea on how we break teams down is to get it to the byline and put a low cross in the box. Solanke isolated against Gabriel and Saliba. He is never, ever going to come out on top in the air against those two in the box. But mate, what about if we went to a three at the back? We've got, when we had Antonio Conte, obviously Mo being an Inter Milan fan, you know better than anyone. When he's got that three at the back with wing backs like Udogie and Porro and a back three of Dragusin, Van de Ven and Romero, Son up front to give Solanke that extra support, that would work 10 times.
That formation will be amazing. Imagine if Spurs had 3 center backs and everyone forward, like what Antonio Conte used to do with Chelsea. You remember that, Shez? Everyone forward. I got Gary Cahill, I got John Terry, and I got David Luiz at the back. I need 7 guys. Bro, I remember Victor Moses dribbling inside the 18 on the right.
Alonso as well.
Alonso getting at the end of crosses. You get my point. Victor Moses is putting low crosses. I remember
with Porro and you've got that with Porro and Udogie. They
are at the back. Chelsea.
Chelsea had Gary Cahill, David Luiz, and John Terry.
Good defense. Very good defense.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, with all due respect, Van de Ven.
It's not a bad defense, is it? Like
individually. No. Let's not do the comparison thing.
I'm not doing a comparison.
But that's not the point. To be honest, Chess, John Terry, Gary Cahill, they are amazing, but they complete each other. Dragusin is very, very physical and very passionate guys. Romero is the captain. Van de Ven is the quickest guy in the Premier League. So they kind of complete each other to play 3 at the back. Very simple. Very simple, by the way. I don't know why he wouldn't. He's so stubborn. It's sometimes I feel like.
What is Ange Ball? Like what? Let's be real. What is Ange Ball? We can have all the position in the world. It's like a great white shark with no teeth.
Oh, it is. I say this, yeah. That 10 game unbeaten run has clouded everybody's point of view. Do you know that? That's all it is. If he didn't go on that run, it would be a very normal thing for him to say, I want him out, and no one would say anything. But because he won a 10 unbeaten run, and he got 8 wins out of that, and it looked nice, it's like everyone hangs on to that, even rivals like Mark Goldbridge does. To me, that's not the way you look at football. Football's a progressive sport. You look at what you've done for me lately, not last year, start of the season. What have you done for me lately? In 2024, the 8th in the league. They haven't won in, 7 out of 11 games? Clean sheets, 1 out of 38, whatever it is. Now, when you say these things out loud, now you start to deep how bad it actually is. But because they finished 5th, because they're a good start, it clouds everyone's point of view. They let Chelsea, who were 12th for 50% of the season, get 3 points behind them. We were 12th for half the season, by the way. So that's why you got to put these things in perspective and use context. So when people saying Ange out, questioning him very, very harshly right now is very, very justified because they're not playing good football. They're not really anything resilient. They're not getting far in cup competitions. Their transfers ain't that great. The tactics and the subs ain't that great. The players on the pitch ain't that great. The club in general, you obviously know where they are. But at the same time, they still got Champions League before. Like, not a great squad. It's like a decent squad, decent players. So my thing is, what Henry's saying is not out of order at all. It's very, very fair. And Mark Goldbridge being defensive and stuff, I hear his point of view, and obviously I respect his opinion, but that's a very, not defeatist way of looking at things, but very, bland way of looking at things. You don't always justify reasons for things. Sometimes it's not good enough. Sometimes you've got to change things up.
Go ahead, Jay.
I definitely, both of their opinions are spot on, so I'm just going to keep it short. But for me, it's everyone knew what we were going to do that day. Every fan knew Arsenal were going to sit back, try break. And for me, if you're literally throwing everyone forward, it's all good going forward. But when we have to attack and you've got Bentancur as your holding kind of player, it's not enough. It's not enough. And for the whole fact of he's doing, what's the saying when it's if you do the same thing and get the same, okay, that's it. Yeah. You're doing the same. There ain't one time that we thought, you know what, he's changed this a little, or it's always just gun hold straight, bam, bam, everyone go. There's no actually plan. There's no plan to Tottenham's
And
football.
give an
when I watch
example
them.
though. This is very small, and obviously he's been here for 4 games. We see Enzo, he's made mistakes in halves, right? Can all agree, right? The Wolves first half, the Moore first half, even Man City. What does he do, Henry? He makes changes. And those changes and the tactics will enable him to get the 3 points. That's what Potts wasn't doing last season. So why I'm saying that is, Ange's not making these changes here and there, keeping the same formation.
He's making changes. He took off Maddison for
they're making the wrong changes then. So he was making changes, making the wrong ones. Yeah?
But
Like,
can I tell you what is the? Can I tell you how I see it from outside? Listen, I don't support the Premier League fan. Listen, people in the chat, there's 500 people here. Let's get the likes up to at least 300 guys. The like button underneath the live chat. Let me tell you how it is. Spurs, right at the current moment, is Vincent Kompany's Burnley, but with a little bit better players. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Spurs in 22-23, 23-24, even with injuries, are the second team in ball position, right? They are the second team, right, in shots in the games, or progressive carries or whatever thing, and progressive passes. Offensive football, the way he plays, look very good on the eye. He has position, it goes around, he's playing handball, and it looks like Vincent Kompany. The problem is, you were last season 14th in chances created against you. And every chance that is created against Spurs is the dangerous chance. It's a 2-on-2, it's a 3-on-3, it's a 4-on-4. There is no defensive structure. It is relying so much on the ability of the defenders, which they make mistakes. Like the line is going to be broken at some point. Someone is going to miss a last-ditch tackle at some point. That is what he's not realizing. That's why some of the people in the media, like Ahmed, for example, Ahmed, Man United fan, who still think if he comes to Man United, we have better players, it is going to be amazing. Well, you're going to be wide open. Yes, you might score 70 goals, but you're going to concede 60 goals in the season, and that won't get you anywhere. Because in the last season, from 27, Arsenal conceded 27 chances. You conceded 69 chances in the league. That is a lot of chances. You are worse than a lot of teams. Ange Postecoglou relies so much on him, and this is the thing that I realized, having the best team in the league, but Spurs aren't. Like when he coached Celtic, he can afford to be very attacking, right? Why? Because he has the best team in the league. But with Spurs, you will face defenses like Arsenal that will stop you. You'll face defenses like Man City will stop you. Chelsea will stop you. Man United will stop you. And your defense is not that strong because you will face an Isak, you might face an Ivan Toney, and Buemo, a Wissa, a Sancho, an Nkunku, a Cole Palmer, Saka. They will score goals. So at the end, the result will be, oh, by the way, yeah, we had 70% possession and we had 30 shots and there was 5 shots against us, but we lost 1-0. So we look good in the stats, but we lost. And that keeps happening.
How does he change it?
You know that? Hold on, quickly.
I'm going to tell you how he change it. I said that before. The way he changes is he stopped believing that my team is the best team in the league. He doesn't have the best team in the league. His defenders aren't the best defenders in the league. His defensive midfielder is not the best DM in the league. What that means is that I will need to adjust based on the opposition a little bit. What I mean, I'm not saying give away ball position. Even Enzo Maresca at some points in the game, and I saw this in the game, he's like, hold on, we are not pressing all the way high because we're getting peppered. I'm going to try to a little bit drop deep. Arteta did this. Pep Guardiola does this now. When they were under the cush against Brentford, you know what Pep Guardiola told everyone? I need 11 players behind the ball. Go back, because he didn't want to concede the second goal. Because he knew that if he went 2-0 down, Ange Postecoglou need to realize you got the players you have now. This is your team. You need to a little bit play compact a little bit. Not like everybody forward. You need to drop the line a little bit. Give yourself space. Like someone was saying that you were crossing to an 18 that had 9 players every time you tried to cross. 9 players. About 6 from Arsenal and 3 from Spurs. You're not going to get the ball. You're not going to touch it. They're going to win every single cross. And that is the problem with Ange. He's so stubborn. I like the style of play if he's with Man City, if he's with Real Madrid. But with Spurs, you're not going to succeed. It's the same. Vincent Kompany with Burnley. Was he going to succeed? He got relegated. Russell Martin with Southampton. Looks good on the eye. You're going to get relegated.
You know what it is at the moment? We're like De Zerbi in his second season with Brighton.
Yeah, when he lost all the good players, but he still played the same exact brand of football, and he wanted to do the same thing.
It's exactly what it's like.
Can I say something though? Is it like a catch-22? Because you see, when we first got Arteta, he played that passing out the back. We was conceding like loads from passing out. I was even one saying, change it. He stuck to his ways, and now it's kind of got him somewhere. But in the sense of like Tottenham, yeah, I find they're like, when we used to play us under Arsene Wenger, it was like we had so much possession, but there was nothing coming of the possession. It was like, oh yeah, we had 70, but we would still lose. That's what I kind of feel like they're kind of doing right now.
He's not changing it up. Like, the thing that annoys me is the best managers in the world will change their tactical approach depending on their team they're playing up against. I'll give you an example, right? Unai Emery will not play the same against Arsenal as he would against Luton at home. Whereas Ange, we play the same, whether it's Man City away, whether it's Burnley at home, whether it's Coventry, and that's okay against 40% of the teams in the league. But when you're an attacking manager and you're putting the ball out wide and we're not taking our chances, we've conceded 20 goals since the start of last season from set pieces, which is the second highest in the league. The only team that have conceded more is Nottingham Forest, who, by the way, just about stayed up last season. Only because it was 3 worse teams, not because they were good enough to stay in the league. The manager off the bench takes off the only creative midfielder we've got on the pitch other than Kulu for Timo Werner, who's a wide player. We've got Dominic Solanke, who I think in the Premier League last year, other than Erling Haaland, was the only striker who pressed more than him. Yet we're not pressing from the front. Like, Dominic Solanke is very good in the penalty area. He's not a striker like Duran is going to pull out a 35-yard strike, but he's good in the 6-yard box for tap-ins. But Dominic Solanke has also got other parts of his game, but we're not using that. He's good. We're not utilizing his hold-up play. He did some good hold-up play against Arsenal, but you watch how deep Maddison has to go. Our defensive line at times is so high, it's in the opposition's half. Like, it's madness. And he's not going to change, and he will get himself sacked. I'll be honest. This Coventry game, I'm not confident. If we lose to Coventry, don't even send him back to Australia that night.
Henry, you'll beat Coventry.
Will we?
Yeah, I think you will.
Yeah.
They said that against Fulham last year, bro.
Can I ask a question to Shez? Okay, you said you're gonna beat Coventry, and I'm here gonna say something. Do you believe that Ange Postecoglou is gonna be in Erik ten Hag's place? Where what is the actual target of Spurs? Is it win trophies or getting Champions League? Do you think they're gonna win against Coventry? They're gonna beat someone like Everton again, 3-0, and then it's gonna mask, and then they're gonna go play, and then they're gonna lose against Chelsea? Do you believe this is gonna be the cycle of Spurs in this season? Like Erik ten Hag, he beat Southampton, he's gonna beat Barnsley today, and he's gonna beat the Crystal Palace in the weekend. And oh my God, it's great, it's roses. Do you think this is gonna be the case?
Yeah, if you want to be an emotional fan, like Henry is obviously, so you would say we might lose against Barnsley, we might lose our next 10 games. Reality is, like he said before in his speech, he'll still beat most of the teams he'll play because they're factually not as good as Spurs. So Spurs, even though I'm crashing it on them, are not the level to pushing up where they should be, but they're still not depleted in mid-table or to be struggling against championship sides. So there's still a bit of a barring difference between those. So I don't think they'll lose against Barnsley. I think they'll still win the next game after I think they got a relatively difficult one. But I don't think it's a case where they'll lose 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 3 in a row. And if it does happen, then obviously we could talk about it. But yeah, in terms of them being that kind of team, yeah, I think they'll be up and down. That's what I think they'll get.
Henry, did that what you wanted? Yeah, go ahead. Like I wanted. Is that the aim? Because everyone was talking about Spurs challenging and moving to the next level last season, and you're gonna be like some people said you're gonna finish third. Some people said you're gonna be like a little bit behind Arsenal this season.
Do you know what my aim is? And you got to hear me out.
Yes, seriously, yes.
And you guys are going to be like, you're tapped. He has to win the League Cup. And let me explain to you that why. Every manager that's ever had a good time at a football club, 99% of the time, the first trophy they win is the League Cup. Jose at Chelsea, Pep at City, other than Arteta, Ferguson at Man United. When you get a winning mentality in the dressing room, you move forward and you can start with the League Cup. I don't think at present we're good enough to win the Europa League. But due to the amount of extra games, I think Arsenal, Chelsea, maybe the only one I think that will take it really seriously is Arne Slot, because he's maybe actually, you know what, maybe Chelsea. Arne Slot and Enzo will take it seriously because it's their first season. But if Ange comes back and we finish 5th or 6th but pick up a League Cup, every Tottenham fan will be happy with that. We didn't go into the next season. Now try and win the Europa League. Let's be real. We don't have enough cover on that left-hand side of the defence, because when Van der Ven's hamstring goes and Udogie, like when they were both injured last season, we ain't got a backup left back. Our backup left back is Archie Gray. He's also our backup DM. He's also our backup right back. Like he said, like, what?
I heard that the other day. They said Archie Gray is back up to 3 positions in the team.
He's our backup. He's a backup.
He's also like 17 years old.
Yeah, he's 18.
No, I heard that someone actually said that they bought him to be backup to Porro, left back, DM.
Yeah, Jacob, as I said to Kate earlier, every single Spurs fan has got a turning point. If we lose to Coventry, it will be a cesspit on Twitter, on X, because right now
it's a cup competition. I hear that.
But this is very. By the way, guys, this is very.
Last year, he made 9 changes against Fulham. Do you think he's going to play the exact same that played against Arsenal? No, Timo Werner's going to come in. Is he good enough? Oh, but he's won a Champions League. Who cares, mate? Who cares? He didn't win a Champions League with us, did he?
Big up Timo,
bro. Timo Werner is an absolute bomb.
Don't talk to me.
I said he scored against
bro.
This guy scored against Madrid. Don't do this to me.
Bro,
he helped me. Yeah.
Timo Werner is an. I have no idea. Someone at Spurs thought that they should renew the contract, that loan.
£180,000 a week.
That person should be fired, bro. Fired, bro.
But don't Ange have to say yes?
This is the
I
thing.
don't think so. I don't think so. I actually don't think so.
No. I'm telling you, Mo. He said it 3 times. 3 times on press conferences. Every player that comes through the door, Ange will give the go-ahead. We went to Nottingham Forest and spent £50 million and then come back with Morgan Gibbs White.
It is him.
Guys, it is impossible that a manager, his summer signing, will spend the majority of the money on 2 under 20 years old when he wants to get better. That is impossible. That is instruction from the board. Oh my God.
It's impossible. The reason why, if a manager doesn't want to play a player, he won't play him. He just won't. Because what managers like to do is they like to make certain decisions as a stand to show why they want certain things done. For example, they might leave out a player or make this change on purpose. Because football's, bro, it's politics, it's money. So they'll do what they have to do. If we didn't want him, he wouldn't bring him on. And he definitely wouldn't bring on for Maddison. Trust me, he wouldn't. If we wanted to make a stand, you wouldn't bring on your 200k player in a big game. You would leave him off the bench. That's more of a stand, right? If we didn't want to use him. But he brought him on. That means he actually rates him. That decision is like...
Bro, he has no other option.
I don't like to say things like, I know more than people who are millionaires and billionaires, because until I get that, I can't really say anything. That's my opinion. So I'm not going to be like, why they make that decision and scrutinize them. But at the same time, bro, 200k. Like, what?
For Maddison? Crazy. I am going to say... I actually still believe...
No, Werner.
Werner's 180. Is 180.
I think he's on 100.
200k, bro, like, what?
I actually
100K,
think...
Cool, 100k squad player, Henry's going to be 200k. That's like that's an opportunity cost for a decent player in the league.
As a star player for Tottenham.
That's Eze's money.
Yeah, assuming
that's Eze's money.
Yeah, let me do a couple of super chats here like this. That Craig Lee saying, Ange brought a knife to a gunfight. There is more than one top manager and a team to compete in the Premier. This ain't the SPL or the J League. That's fact. He thinks he has the best team in the league. That's why he's playing this way. And he's going to play this way against Man City as well, against everyone. It is crazy, to be honest. Spurs didn't let Conte cook. Levy killed him. I'm telling you something. Conte was never going to continue at Spurs. Was never going to continue. It was never going to.
I think it was like a holiday for him.
Payday.
Yeah, let me just go to England with the family for a bit, and then I'm gonna go back and win my trophies. That
was the weirdest managerial appointment I've seen in a while.
And then his press conference against the Southampton draw, the one thing he did do is open a lot of people's eyes.
Called out the owners, innit?
Yeah, he was going, it's all about the money.
And that's why he went, though, innit?
Before we continue, before we move on, I wanted to actually speak about Maddison getting a lot of heat in the media, tons of heat, a lot of heat in the media, a lot of like, oh my God, you're not a good player, you're not this, you're not that. Everybody believe that, or you believe it's the way Ange plays, It doesn't suit him. He's not getting the best out of him because he still creates chances sometimes. He passes the ball around, but there is no space for him to work. Everything, I feel like everything at Spurs is just it's stuck. You know what I mean? Like everything. But I don't know. But like, how do you guys see Maddison? I don't know. Jacob is second and just playing into exactly what Conte was telling us.
I think Jacob. I think he was second himself. It's a results business. We have beaten one top 10 side since December, and that was Aston Villa. When we beat Brighton, they were 12th. I'm sorry, that is inexcusable. We haven't beaten a big six side in 9 attempts. The last time we did, and let's be honest, the Premier League messed up with that Jota goal. Liverpool, there was all that audio released, whatever. If that goal gets given, we would have not beaten.
That's an anomaly, innit? You should have lost that game.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah,
So, like,
100 against Liverpool. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that was a anomaly.
and they had 9 men, and we scored. They scored an own goal in the 97th minute or so. I was there. I was at the stadium that day. You know, the thing is, he is going to get himself sacked unless he could make 2 or 3 tweaks to Tottenham, and we'd be like a lot higher in the league. We've got Brentford, Villa, City, Man United all coming our way alongside the Europa League, League Cup, and I think so much is riding on that Coventry game. In terms of Maddison, like I said earlier, the system is not got. When he was at Leicester and he had Ndidi and Tielemans, you got a balanced midfield. You know who the 6s, you know who the 8s. We're like walking through Liverpool Street on a Friday night. It's just full of 8s and 10s. There's no 6s anywhere. You got 2 players that are so advanced, right? If anyone don't know, it's a train station in London. You got two players that are so advanced, and one defensive player. We're so easy to counter. If he just went 2 central midfielders and a double pivot with Maddison in front, and the fullbacks stay in their natural positions, you shave off 25 goal difference, 25 goals conceded, and our goal difference will be so much better. But he won't. So Maddison has to drop deep, and then he's so congested. It's like M25 football, mate. No one can move because everyone's in each other's way. And we're not like, the thing is, when everyone goes, oh, it took Arteta 3 or 4 years, you could see Arteta's plan. He wanted to play out from the back. He bought the better players and he bought a back line. I think his first big signing, correct me if I'm wrong, was Gabriel. What a signing that's been. His first big signing was building that back line. And yes, they haven't won a league title. You can criticize him for whatever. But they've got better each year. Look at us.
We're going to, though.
100. He's had £400 million.
This season.
The only manager has had more is Enzo, and that's not his fault. That's because Chelsea's ownership are buying everyone inside. So let's just be real. The only manager who's had more money is Enzo. £400 million for Tottenham is a hell of a lot of money. It's a hell of a lot of money, and the best signing we've had out of everyone is Van de Ven. But there's injury problems.
Spurs is annoying me because Henry, I like, you know what? I'm gonna do a judge here. I like you as a guy. You know what? Spurs was not that far from where I live. I live in Northeast. It's not that far away, but like, bro, your club just jars me because they're just there. They don't really do anything, and it's just like, even when you're speaking about your club, it's just jarring. I don't know what I'm saying.
All this money as well.
I don't know, man.
And you know what?
With Maddison's just. That's why I said. Why I just said that is because Maddison's the same. He's just there, innit? Like
it's just Spurs, though.
Can I ask you something? Do you believe if Maddison went to Chelsea or Arsenal, he would have been better?
Honestly speaking, if we signed Maddison, Mother's Life, I would not be gassed. Like, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't necessarily be gassed, but he'd be a very.
We got Sancho.
You got Enzo.
I didn't want him.
But you got Enzo there. You wouldn't rather Maddison.
No, Maddison's not an 8.
Who's your 10?
Who's my 10?
Yeah, you start every week. Like if you had to choose.
Palmer. No.
All right. Other than Palmer, who's your other 10?
You don't have any. Kunku behind the goal.
I feel this is a good player, but I think there's a huge question mark. With Arsenal, if Odegaard got injured for like 3 months,
more to the
and you
team.
put Maddison.
Have you seen the last game, bro? Have you seen the last game?
I saw the highlights. I was on the plane. I saw the highlights. What I would say is this year, Felix would provide more than Maddison would, purely because even if he's not getting goals and assists, he provides like an outlet. He will dribble past the player. He'll bring.
Look at Arsenal system though. If Odegaard's not in there, Maddison would maybe not to the same level, but he would do a very good job.
I don't know, Henry. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I don't think he would.
It's a balanced midfield though.
I don't
think Maddison would. I hope if you put Maddison in Arsenal's midfield, I don't think he even gets half team.
What about Villa? If you put him in that 10 at Villa, he'd do a
Yeah,
great
but
job.
he's Villa's level though.
Yeah, but
like a
Villa are in the
top 4
Champions
team.
League, bro. Like, the Villa are a good side.
Yeah, but they're a top 4 team though. That's what I'm trying to say. That Spurs are just under that. So Maddison being not that good, just under that position, isn't that good. If you're a decent player at Spurs, that means you're not a good player. Because Spurs aren't hitting the heights. This isn't me being disrespectful. I'm being facts. Spurs aren't first, second, third. They're not 8th, 9th, 10th. They're in the middle of that pack. If we're not standing out in Spurs, why would I believe we'll stand out in Arsenal? We'll fight for the league. That's my logic. Because like for me, he's technical, but he's not a game winner. He's a very good player on his day who could turn up, get goal and assist, can dribble, can shoot, but he's not a consistent game winner. I look at him and go, yo, he would cook in this system. For example, Palmer in one season, I could argue you put him into most teams in Europe purely because he's that kind of X factor kind of player.
Yeah, he's got it.
Even if he doesn't play well, we could score a goal, get an assist. In Wolves, he didn't play that good, got 3 assists. He didn't play that good. But that's what I'm saying. He's that kind of player. So I don't look at Maddison like that. Odegaard, for example, could not play well and get an assist again in the Champions League. And there's still question marks over him being that game winner when they need him to win the league, for example. And even with him, there's question marks. So for me, Maddison's a bit, I don't know, man. I don't think he's overrated. I just don't really rate him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you guys know that Maddison last season with the injuries have kind of similar stats to Odegaard and higher stats? I know that we don't do stats, but I think people are just not understanding how bad the front line of Spurs are and how bad the way that Spurs play, how bad it is. If you look at the stats, and I'm not only about the stats, because I look at Maddison and I see a good player. He hasn't lived up to what I thought he's going to do at Spurs. But his goal-creating actions, his assists, the number of passes, the progressive passes, the passes forward, the number of touches per game, right? All of these are on par with Odegaard. But I think the problem is the system doesn't suit him because there's no space for him to work. Like, he will get the ball, and even against Arsenal, he will get the ball and like, there's nobody to pass to. There is like 8 players of Arsenal in front of him. Where am I going to pass the ball? There's no space to pass behind, and there's no one to pass to, right? That's why
cool. What level do you rate him at then? Let's say these things were given, because what you just stated isn't given at any club. Because even
say that again. What is what?
What you just stated in terms of like having players that make runs for you, being efficient in the attacking lineup. Even Man City rely on one player to do that mostly in Haaland. Even their attackers don't always make the right runs or stuff. Else, every player would be putting up high amount of numbers, but they don't. It's shared out. So my point is, what level do you hold Maddison at? Where if these were given to him,
so let me explain. Why did Odegaard last season had less assists per game than Odegaard per minute? Why? So why did Odegaard even with Maddison injured? No. That's the point. So Odegaard is a controller on the pitch, and Maddison does kind of similar things. The difference is, I think Odegaard has better players. I think Maddison didn't live up to the hype. I have to say, I raise my hand and say that. But the thing about it is that we are discrediting the fact that the rest of the team is shit. Is horrific, by the way. The rest of the Spurs team, and also the system now, I realize, it does not favor a player like a Maddison at all. Well, it doesn't. You know what it favors?
Better if we had a 6 and 2 8s. If we had a 6 and 2 8s.
And also what I mean is that everything goes through. Give it to Brennan Johnson. Let him run a defender and just whip in across, hoping that someone will touch it. An offensive or a defensive player. That is what people understand. I think Maddison, he doesn't. People like, oh my God, he's a horrific player. He isn't. He completes more passes than a lot of people in the league. Touches the ball a lot. Progressive. People like to do the stats thing. Progressive passes, progressive carries, as well dribbles, right? Passes forwards, and all the stuff. The problem is the rest of the team. Do you believe if Odegaard was at Spurs, having Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson as wingers, right, as last season, and Richarlison as forward, do you believe Odegaard would be playing well?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he would be either, but there's a reason why Maddison's at Spurs, because he's not that good.
He's not, yeah.
That's my point.
I'm
not even guessing.
That is absolutely. There is a reason why Chelsea bought Sancho, because Sancho's not good. I can do that the same day, bro.
You just got emotional. You're not deep in what I'm saying.
No, I am. Because it doesn't mean anything.
Deep what I just said. if Maddison was as good as Odegaard, he wouldn't be at Spurs. Deep what I just said.
And remember,
makes
it
sense.
was
I
a
don't know, can you
toss-up
explain
between the
more?
both of them.
So
Can
no,
you
that
explain
doesn't need to
more?
be explained. That it's literally what
It
it
does.
is. So
It does actually. Hold
do
on.
you think? Do you think? Yeah, that for example, there are good players who, if they had a choice, would choose to go to Spurs over Arsenal. If so, why?
But Arsenal have Odegaard, and they weren't in for him.
What do you mean?
We
I swear they were linked
was.
to Madison as
We
well.
was.
Not
Yeah,
with,
we
not
was.
with the
Tell me,
season. He
lie?
was.
I'm not like
Yes,
something.
before we got.
Hold on. Not
Go
with
on.
the season. Not with the season that Maddison was leaving last season's.
Oh no.
Leicester.
No, but before that, Arsenal linked
Yeah.
with him.
That's what I was
Linked. There's
saying,
a
it was a
difference between
toss-up.
linked with him. And you remember, they got Odegaard. Odegaard was the wonder kid at Real Madrid who didn't work out.
Bro, back me up here. He's changing narrative. That's not how it was. Back then, there was a
I am
debate.
not understanding the point.
Back then, yeah, us fans were told there was a debate online, Henry were told, between Maddison and Odegaard, who they would sign. That was a debate. Because Odegaard in his loan sport didn't do that great.
I wanted Maddison, by the way.
Everyone wanted Maddison. But the club chose Odegaard, and he's turned that way he did. Maddison stayed and gone to Spurs, and he had an all-right season. I'm not saying Maddison won't progress from here. I'm not saying he's a dud. What I'm saying, he's maybe not as high of a level as people expect him to be. Hence why he's overrated. And
How much blame though?
I just think he's an all-right player. I don't think he's that great.
How much blame of that is on the system and the coaching and the manager? Because I personally think if you put Maddison into a more balanced midfield with better, like, let me just give you a hypothetical scenario.
I disagree with this, but go on.
If we put Maddison in a 10, just for a hypothetical for a team, and you've got players like Cole Palmer, and let's say Tottenham's front three hypothetically is Son, Solanke, and Cole Palmer, rather than Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson, and Solanke. Because when Son's out, that's what it will be. Maddison's level goes up tenfold because he's playing with better players. Maddison's gone into a system where he's not being utilized properly. Bro, the guy's average position is literally nearly on our halfway line because he has to go so deep to pick the ball up. We're not utilizing.
No, I agree with that. But
I hate what you're saying though about Odegaard has gone up and he has gone up levels. I completely hear what you're saying. You are right. Odegaard has gone up, whereas Maddison has kind of stayed at that level.
No, he went backwards. He went backwards. Just listen.
Yeah, even
different system.
He went backwards.
Maddison, I think, would improve. I'm not necessarily.
Who do Crystal Palace have in the attack?
Eze,
yeah.
Eze, Olise, Mateta, and Schloss.
Do you rate Mateta? Do you rate him?
I think he fits their system.
Do you rate Patrick Vieira as a manager in the league? No.
No, 100% no.
Exactly, but Olise and Eze still in a very, very poor team, relatively speaking, where they are.
Yeah, but this is the argument I have all the time.
One sec. Vieira, who's a poor manager, by the way, in the league, they still perform to a certain level.
Can I ask you something? What about, do you believe Enzo Fernandez is overrated as well?
Yeah, he's definitely overrated.
Definitely, okay.
But you don't think that is down to the system?
But that's still.
But do you think? I am not trying to catch up, but don't you think that it's down to the system and it doesn't suit him playing for Chelsea in the Premier League?
No, a bit of both. He needs to improve his physical attributes defensively off the ball, and yes, the system could probably accommodate for that. But for me, it's more in a case of him improving his off the ball attributes. If he improves his off the ball attributes, I think people rate him a lot higher because he's good on the ball. He has a good passing range. He's just easy to bypass. And I'll set it on my chest. That doesn't mean I don't rate him. People just overrate him to a certain level, but he's not at yet. But the guy's only 23. He's got room. But Maddison, he's 20, 26, 27.
I think he's done. I actually think he's done.
Oh, he's 27.
I think Maddison is done.
Like,
I'm going to tell you why he's done. Because I don't think he's going to move from Spurs. Even if Ange Postecoglou is sacked from Spurs, Spurs aren't going to get a manager that will get the best out of Maddison, right? He isn't Harry Kane or Youngman's son. And Maddison's just going to stay still until... I'm saying that Maddison is not going to go up a level. He won't.
I think he will.
Under who?
Any manager that actually knows how to use a 10. If we hypothetically went to that three at the back we were talking about with the back three, the only problem we'd have with that is we don't have another centre back in our squad that's fit unless you want to start putting Ben Davies through and that guy's finished. If we had a back three like that, Dragusin, Van de Ven, Poro and Udogie as wing backs and utilise them properly, and you've got two central midfielders and then Maddison in the 10, and you give Son that number 9 position alongside Solanke, Maddison would cook. The only manager I could see coming in and hypothetically doing that is Thomas Tuchel. And everyone's like I said earlier. I said earlier on I was on yesterday on the terrace. Like there's managers out there that Tottenham notoriously pay second or third highest for the manager in the league. Now people saying, "Oh, why would Xavi or why would Tuchel come to Spurs?" Well, Jose and Conte did it. Did it work out? No, but that's not the argument. They would come to Tottenham because there's a payday there. Conte come for a year. Thomas Tuchel with a 3 at the back.
Henry, you see, like, don't you feel like there comes a time where like managers are coming to your club? You've had what? Mourinho, Conte, they're like serial winners outside of the Prem, right?
Yeah, and we don't have a team to win now. I get what you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be a time where people are like, that payday ain't worth the headache. Do you get what I mean? Everyone's tried to win. Not even a League Cup. Nothing has come out of you're getting managers that are known for winning. And to me, it comes to a point
what's
where
the answer? Do we
I don't know the answer for Spurs. You tried Conte, Espirito Santo, Mourinho. I don't know.
The only answer is something that's not going to happen. The ownership changes. That's the only answer.
Yeah, we've got more chance of all 4 of us winning the lottery.
But be realistic. What is the realistic option?
No, realistically, that's literally realistic the option that's going to change.
Okay, realistically.
No,
the
realistic option. The only option is to literally get rid of ownership because they're the reason why Henry's pissed for last.
What if they get Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp?
No, it's going to be the same outcome.
Okay, but let me ask you something.
The same outcomes.
Can Jurgen
Klopp? Hold on. You think if they get Jurgen Klopp, they're going to get the same outcome?
Okay, can he improve Brennan Johnson? Yes or no?
What, Klopp?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone.
I believe Brennan Johnson
that
just
is no banter.
Do you know who I would actually take?
He's got no footballing brain
as a manager, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, you know, I would if Ange was to be sacked tomorrow, I would go and give it to Thomas Frank. Now everyone's gonna be like, oh,
you know what, Henry? I just think it's a merry-go-round. I genuinely believe if ownership's a certain way, things stay the same.
Yeah, but we're spending a lot of money.
Bro, they got Solanke, bro. They got Van de Ven and you doggy. Shez, this notion.
Let me land. Let me land. I was speaking. Let me land. What I'm trying to say is, because Mo, why? Mo, just let me.
No, look.
I am not fucking silent, bro. I shut up, bro. I'm fucking silent. Go ahead.
Okay, I got it. What I was gonna say is, when an ownership is a certain way, they think a certain way, they move a certain way. Outcomes are as a result of that. You know what I'm saying? You reap what you sow, right? So if you don't spend the money correctly, even though you spend money, if you don't make the right decisions on the board level, it all trickles down, right? Like you saw with Chelsea last 2 years. So my point is, if you get another manager in, it'll be the same scenario. Maybe a different outcome in terms of relatively speaking. For example, if Pep came in, he might win a Carabao Cup, but for his expectations, that wouldn't be enough for him. For example, it might be with Frank. He might play a decent side of football, but again, it won't be enough in the long run. That's just how it is. So unless they do the unthinkable, which is change the ownership, which won't happen, unless something like Roman's situation happens, then how is anything going to change? And why I'm correct is, if time is infinite as I speak right now, Spurs will only have 1 trophy in the next, 40 years. If the things continue the way they do, which is facts. So my thing is that...
And then we're basically turning into Everton. We're basically Everton.
Basically,
by the way, you are Everton at the current moment, Henry.
I never said Henry.
Current moment.
I can take that, but we ain't Everton. Come on.
Hold on, Henry. Don't support the Premier League, but I've been watching the Premier League for over 20 years, right? Do you remember the Everton Cup? Everyone remembers the Everton Cup, the 8th place or 6th place. You guys remember that? That is the problem with Everton. I'm not talking about you are Everton now, but you literally replaced Everton in the league in terms of like, you'll get in the Champions League once or twice. You'll get in the European places once or twice. You have fun.
So how have we spent in the Premier League era only 220 million less than Man United in the entire Premier League era? You can look this up. I think it's either 200 or 320 million. How have we spent that amount of money? But look what we spend it on. If we actually brought in a proper Michael Edwards or a serious director of football, like we spend so much money, bro. 50 million on Johnson, 50 million on Davinson Sanchez, 40 million on Van de Ven, 40 million on Maddison, 60 million on Solanke, 60 million on Richarlison, 60 million on Ndombele. How many of these players have come to the football club and actually delivered? Our record signings, our top 5 record signings, Sanchez, Solanke, Richarlison, Ndombele, and Lo Celso, have been I don't think it's fair to say Solanke yet, because he's only played 3 games. The other 4 have been disastrous.
I was just about to say your record signings are the worst players that have probably played in like the last 10 years.
We're gonna stay here forever. We need to move on a little bit. The guy is saying Iraola or Frank to Spurs, flexible. Iraola, by the way, is one of the most underrated managers in the Premier League at the current moment, to be honest. He has some scrubs and he's making them play football, to be honest. This Bournemouth team was supposed to be relegated and they're playing good football, to be honest. Listen, I want to show you a clip, right? Simple clip, and to move on. Hear this out, people.
Set pieces.
We haven't had a lot of injuries.
You lot are like Stoke now, innit? You lot are coming like Stoke.
Arteta's moving like Pulis.
Tony Pulis Mark II. He's moving like Stoke.
Mikel Pulis.
Mikel Pulis.
I'm just trying to understand how you could be here mocking a team that's on the verge of winning the league.
No. Tony Pulis must be spitting now right now. Going, right, he's getting props of what I created.
You remember when I said in the beginning that a lot of people, I have seen this from a lot of people, not only Rio. I know they were joking, but there is a bit of truth to it. This is the new direction of people are treating Arsenal, averaging 46% position in the league. You are like 14 in creating chances. You only do counter-attacking football. And they were like, okay, where did that progressive Arteta went? Where did the football go? Because people accused me when I did 2 shows back-to-back the last 2 days. Why, Mo, do you ask the question about why do Arsenal play defensive? I'm like, it's not me. That is the new thing. On beIN Sports, they actually talked about Arsenal the same. A lot of pundits are talking about Arsenal. Oh, you're now defensive. You're not going to win the league like this. That's not me. Actually, I wanted to show that clip to show you how lately, this is yesterday, actually. This is how Arsenal are being spoken about nowadays.
Yeah, no, that's just rubbish, man. For me, it's like, it's the in thing to trash Arsenal anyway. Like, if you talk about Arsenal, you're going to get some traction. Like, because we're the fans that are the most...
That's not true. We spent 50 minutes speaking about Spurs and we have the same number of viewers, so go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? But we're the fans that, like, we will bite back if you talk about us. You could talk about someone that's rubbish. We're going to bite back. So, if you talk about us, it's going to make clicks, innit? But saying defensive is crazy after one game. And like I said before, it's like people praise other managers for... We're talking about the Tottenham manager right now, and we're saying, oh, why ain't he changing? Why to the circumstances? Rare. My manager's doing it, and people are now trolling him because he went into the derby with two of his best players basically out, and he just changed it up. And now
wrong. That's wrong.
What's wrong?
I'll tell you what's wrong. What you're saying is it's all about perspective. People are saying it for Spurs in respect of achieving their goal of top 4. Now, the reason why you're getting trolled for it is because you haven't won anything. Why I say that is, when you win, there's less noise. So if Chelsea won the Carabao Cup last season, I guarantee you half the Sunderland wouldn't be there, even the Carabao Cup, because you would have won something. That's the only difference. That's all I've ever said. That's how I grew my following. Because people listen to what I'm saying. I do the trolling to him. When actually deep what I'm saying, it's actually true. You'd admit it. If you win, there's less noise. So if what you did last season defensively worked out for you and you won a league, he can make jokes, but you could have won a league though. Now,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're right in what you're saying, but the only thing you're wrong is that if you win, the jokes will happen anyway. But then people always banter you because that's how football is, isn't it? If you win,
I think we get the worst.
Yeah, you do. You definitely get
by the
worse.
Way, notion that people keep saying because we are Arsenal, that is not true. By the way,
it's not true.
Yeah,
it's just a team
by the way, the way that Arsenal fans and listen, you know that
I say one thing though, Mo.
Hold
quickly,
because I hear a lot from other people.
When we were shit,
from Rory, from everybody, they are like, from
Victory
Saad.
mentality.
From Saad. You speak about us because we're Arsenal. No. And I literally responded to Rory's tweet once, right? By the way, when his tweet, and he's like, and he was talking about the same exact, and I said, maybe because your manager is the longest standing manager in the league now without a league title or Champions League, and you are the closest one to win the title without winning it now. We will be talking about same. For example, if Ange
did the same thing,
with all due respect, not Spurs. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm just being truth. I'm being truthful. Wallahi, you know, Henry, I'm being truthful. If you like, for example, if Spurs win a League Cup or a Carabao Cup and you don't win the league with Ange, it would be all right. You get my point. But for example, if Chelsea for the next 5 years win the Carabao Cup and a League Cup and their manager don't win the league or the Champions League, he'll get sacked. He'll get sacked. People started speaking about what's his name, Jurgen Klopp, when he didn't win the league for the last 5 years after 2020, and they're like, bro, you're underachieving. You're underachieving here. You aren't achieving because you're challenging Man City. So that notion that we speak about Arsenal because it's Arsenal, no. We peppered Jurgen Klopp when he came second. Bridesmaid. The bridesmaid thing came from Liverpool, not Arsenal, though.
Hold on.
You remember that? That was Liverpool's thing, not Arsenal's thing.
The original
bridesmaid. It wasn't Arsenal.
But then you got to put into perspective, like, fair enough, he took the job. I'm not saying, but he's a fresh manager. It's not like Klopp. He's literally learning every.
You can't use that, man.
Put that into perspective.
No, you can't. No, that's this give you that, bro. That's not how.
Why though? Why do you disagree?
No. That's your problem. That's not our problem. It's not our fault.
No,
your fault as a fan.
And why do you think I said before I said it? I know he took the job, so you can't really say, "Oh, yeah," but you got to put it into perspective. When
there isn't. Bro, football's not about perspective. That's not how it works.
Nah,
bro,
man.
No. If we're talking about why, if the question Mo posed, why do people laugh or say defensive? Then the answer is because you don't win. So you saying why we're not perspective about him being a new manager? That's completely irrelevant. If you're an Arsenal fan, a Chelsea fan, a United fan, a Liverpool fan, all you disrespect Henry, probably not Spurs fan, you expect to win the league every year or a major trophy every year. FA Cup, Carabao, League Champions.
The disrespect
ain't the same, bro. There's no room for sympathy of, he's a new manager, it's not the same thing.
I hear you, but that's from my perspective, you get. But I'm saying to you, like, as a manager, you got to, like, it's a big club. Like, it's not just he's gone and took on Bournemouth or whatever. It's a big club, so he's learning. That's obviously you said it's not your problem. I get that, but me, if I'm talking, you got to give him a little leeway. You can't put him in the same bracket as when Klopp was behind him, and that it's different.
I'm not understanding this.
I don't.
Henry, what do you think about that new defensive style of play Arsenal play?
I don't really get this Jose Mourinho tag that he's getting because he had one clean sheet defensively away from home. Like, there's pros and cons to it. The pro side is Arteta's got a different tactical approach. He can play a different style. It's complete opposite to us. We're gung ho, shark no teeth.
Yeah,
having a little roll around, no bust. That's what we are. Arsenal are changing their tactical approach. However, only 5 or 6 games a season they're going to play like that. So, like, this a tag they're getting, I don't really get. Let's be real, they're not going to go gung ho against City. They're not going to go City away, Liverpool away.
No one is asking them to do that. No one is asking them to do
it. So then what? Like, what's the?
That'd be suicide to do this.
Yeah. So, like,
wait, Mo, did you expect us to go at Tottenham and play attacking then? Is that what you're saying?
No, actually, by the way, that's not Mo. Why do you talk about me? I actually expect Manchester City to defend against Spurs because it's easier to win when you sit back and hit Spurs on the counter-attack. Like, I'm expecting every team to do this. Bro, Spurs fans know that every team will defend against them and play counter-attack. Even Manchester City will utilize the spaces that they leave behind. That is just a given in football now. You play against Ange, don't give them spaces.
Having more possessions.
Yes, it's not like so people think about. I'm talking about my opinion. I said that after the Brighton game. Like when I wanted you to dominate position a little bit. You know what I mean? Who else did you play this season? Can you tell me?
What Villa? Who did we start with?
Wolves,
You played Wolves,
Wolves,
Villa,
and that Brighton game.
Brighton, and Spurs.
Brighton, and then Spurs. Yeah.
How
And
was
this-
how were these fixtures? I just want to. I can't remember exactly. I'm checking now.
And they won the two away games. They haven't conceded a goal yet.
Wolves, is a
Yeah,
bit
and
like-
Wolves gave
Okay,
us
against Wolves, it was a 50-50, like 48% versus 52, right? So
Yeah.
they didn't dominate complete possession. They played Villa away. Okay, they played Villa away. They should have lost the game, but they played on the counter. Actually, Arsenal had more possession, but Villa played counter attack. So Arsenal dominated Villa, if you want to say that, right? So I get that. You're gonna change the play every time, but every time you're gonna play this style of play, they're gonna make fun of you. But I hate it.
If
If
we're
that will
winning,
win you the
carry
league-
on making fun of me.
Who
I'm
gives
good.
a shit? I'm with
Yeah.
you. Who gives a shit?
Who cares? If you win the league, there's no noise. That's all I'm saying. That's
I
all I'm saying.
promise
man.
you, bro.
no, I
You
hear
win
you. I
games.
definitely
If you win the league doing this, no, you're still gonna get banter. That's football tribalism, innit? That's how it is. But you don't care. I wouldn't care.
Facts. I don't
Like,
care
if
how
Spurs
win this
play
league.
a backfire to win the FA Cup, I'm down. I want to win the trophy, man.
Listen,
it
if we have,
If you
if we
win,
have
you
to-
win. I don't like this notion of how you win. I get style of football matters to some fans, but to me, no matter how you win, it's how you win. The only thing I would say is when people celebrate draws. Like we're going to get to Man City and Arsenal talk. When people celebrate those kind of results, that's where I come in. I'm like, yo, let's have a bit of expectations. We don't celebrate draws like that. But if it gets you the league, then celebrate as much as you want then.
Yeah.
You get? Don't celebrate individual results. That is a be and end all, because not. Until you lift your armpits up, that's when you celebrate. I think, in my opinion, it's simple as that.
But do we? I'll ask you something, Ches. Do you think Arsenal, with that new style of play, can win the league, though, Ches?
They had it last year, they didn't. So for me, jury's out.
No, but we've added to it.
You've
Do you know what I mean? Like we're gonna get Moreno.
thing
That's
is,
another defensive guy that was
there's a phrase that someone gave. I don't think it's don't fix something that's not broken, but it's like you've added it in terms of who, because you still.
So hold on. Left back, yeah. They were saying, oh, that was the way everyone used to attack us. We got Timber. For me, I'm not saying because it's only 3 games and he's only played like I think it's 2 or 1, can't remember. But anyway, with Timber, you could see like if anyone's watched Arsenal games, have you watched what Timber? You obviously watched the Tottenham game. Timber was doubling up on him, and they still didn't get no change out of him, and he's not fully fit. He's not fully fit yet. Remember, the guy was out whole season. Then now he's got pre. He ain't, and he didn't even play fully in pre, so he's not even fully fit. And I think that left side, then you're gonna have Moreno come in there. I think it's. I don't know. I just think it's all right.
Arsenal won't lose the league by not beating Man City. It's the Fulham aways. It's the West Ham at homes. It's the Wolves aways. It's those fixtures. How many points did Arsenal drop against the Big Six last season? Or lose? Rather that, how many games against the Big Six did Arsenal lose last year?
I don't think they lost any.
Zilch.
But it's these games when it's like Fulham away at Craven Cottage and they lose 2-0. Or being 2-1 up against Fulham at home. Fulham get a man sent off and then Fulham equalise 5 minutes later. It's those games. It's at the Emirates when you play Southampton and they're 2-0 up in 30 minutes.
And also, I would say, if we're talking about Arsenal in general, Jay, if you agree with me, it's more a case of I don't believe your attack is as clinical as a Champions League or Premier League winning side yet, or to be proven. So what I'm trying to say is like
it's not clinical, but I think it's enough because and Mo said about the creating chances thing. I feel like we create enough chances. Like I don't feel like
factually speaking, now you don't.
I know there's facts, whatever. There's stats, but I'm saying when I'm watching the game, there's enough to be like, all right, we should be winning these games. Obviously, bar Tottenham because we went there and done what we done. But in general, I feel like we create enough chances.
Against Villa, you didn't. Against Brighton, yeah.
But that's the start of the season. That's the start of the season, though. Look at City. City,
yeah, but this is what I'm saying though. Like,
all over the place. That's not going to carry on. It's gone, sir.
It's defensively you've improved, and I actually hear your arguments. At first, I didn't agree, but then you actually explained to me, Timber, he's upgrading Zinchenko. He's still Calafiori there. Your defense is looking solid. But my thing is, if you're going to play this style of football, you need to like rely more than your set pieces. So as crap as Spurs were, like in open play, you didn't do a lot.
If
So-
Romero wins that header, that ends a draw.
I don't want. That's the thing. I don't want to say that because that's not how football works. If
Yeah,
like,
No, but let's be real.
But-
How many times did Arsenal threaten our goal?
you know, that's what I'm saying, Henry. I agree with you. Attacking wise, in terms of forgetting your defensive error, because that's part of football, isn't it? Attacking wise, what they did, they didn't do very much. So if we're going to rely on that in the big games, in the champs, in the Prems, against your Chelsea's away, Liverpool's away, City's away, we'll have to see this weekend as a tester. I'm
but-
not sure that approach will work as effectively. Do you understand?
With City away, we're not going to play like that because obviously we might play more defensive. I'm not going to say we're going to go at them.
Well, you wouldn't
but
play
we're
the way
gonna have-
against Spurs. Yes, you will.
We'll play like that, but we're going to have Rice back. So I reckon it will be like just a bit more. I don't know. Rice just.
No, but it weren't last
shows
year.
that-
It weren't last year.
But I don't know. I just feel like this is how we're gonna go into this season, this game. We're gonna just be not too. Obviously, we're gonna be defensive because we're away, innit? But I just feel like there will be more leeway for players to kind of get forward, and I feel like that's how you beat City. All these Brentfords and like giving them good games. What I'm watching, they're trying to. They're not just sitting back. They're actually trying to play a bit of football and go at City. And City are looking a bit shaky. And where it's the start of the season, I feel like this is the best time. If we're gonna beat City at the Etihad, this is the best time to kind
Bro,
of.
if you beat
They're
City
not
at the
like
Etihad, you
in-
will win the Premier League. Let's just establish
That's
this.
facts.
Hey,
Bro,
don't tell
if
me
you
that.
if you go to Manchester City and you beat them at the Etihad, you are definitely gonna freaking win the league, bro. Like I have no doubt at that time in my mind. Without Odegaard, you beat Manchester City. I am putting my hands down. It's over, bro. You're gonna win the freaking Premier
But
League.
Arteta said that he wanted to play on Sunday, so I feel like he might be ready for City. You know, because
Hold
if
on.
he's saying
What?
So Arteta come out in the press, the press before Tottenham game. He was saying
Yeah.
that, Odegaard wants to play. Like, I think he's going to be ready for the City game. I honestly do.
You think Odegaard is back? Have you seen the injury? I hope so.
I don't know
I
why.
really
but
hope
the
so.
way he said it, like he's not. Obviously,
I think he's playing mind games because he's saying Odegaard wants to be fit for the game. That
yeah,
kind of
I don't. It was a weird one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's PR. Like someone just said that. I don't think he'll be fit. Yeah, Tevin's saying it as well.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
but
he'll be
anyway, on
fit.
the game, Mo's right. If you beat Man City at their gaff like that,
Bro,
like you have to win the league. It's not even you will. You kind of have to because you don't go Man City who don't lose at home. The last time we lost to the title giants at home was Chelsea. That was 2017, bro. Not even Liverpool did it. So if you do it, that's mad. That's props.
Yeah, and it's even worse for us as well because it's us, isn't it?
Imagine that pressure.
but I want to ask you
don't-
something. Do you
don't wanna
think
beat
what
City
if
at
they
home. You don't
lose?
wanna beat them away.
What if they lose?
Oh, if they lose, it's
Well,
over.
if-
No, if they lose, it's over.
Nah, it's too early.
Over.
No,
Oh.
it's not over.
Over
Come on,
because
that's
they won against Spurs
crazy.
away. Because they won against Spurs
Yeah.
away, that 5 point. Well, that's not.
Well, are we really
that's
saying
that's
this?
but hold on. That's a one game drift. You know
Oh,
why?
you were always going to be
Because Man City
away.
will get. No. Because Man City will come to the Emirates. You have to remember
What are we
this.
doing here? They were always going to beat Spurs away. Who here predicted they were going to win?
And hold on, City have still
didn't
got to
think
go
Spurs were gonna
to Tottenham's ground. And you know what?
If Man
like,
City win,
it could be. I don't
It's
know. man.
definitely not freaking over. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
over,
no.
bro.
Do you know what I
You're
say?
damn
Do you know what I
mad.
say? Do you know what I'm saying? It's
I
over?
think if it's 8 points, it's over, bro. 5 points when Man City are going still to the Emirates, bro. It's definitely
No,
not
no,
over.
no. You know what the difference is, though? You know what the difference is? So I'll tell you what the difference is. If Man City go to the Emirates, still having that gap of 5 points, knowing if they just get a result, they win the league, they're getting a result. Facts. You might know it's facts.
It's different
Yeah,
mentality.
Henry, you know it's facts. I'm not
And
lying.
you know what?
If
Going
someone's-
off,
it's facts.
going off what's happened, like
That's what I'm saying. The
it
past
makes
few years,
sense.
if
It
you
makes
said to Man
sense.
City, you get a draw, you win the league, they're getting minimum a draw.
It-
They're not
I
losing,
can't
bro.
argue with that. It
Whereas
makes sense.
if that's Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, or
They're
United, have got to get a
they'll
result.
lose or
There's a lot
they'll
more
fuck
question
up.
marks.
Yeah.
Like,
The
he's
difference
right.
is Man City, when you win 4 leagues on the bounce, you know how stupid that is? 4
Look at
on
their
the
dressing
bounce.
room, by the way. Like, look at that Man City dressing room.
You don't win
Stacked with
4
winners.
It's great. I know. Guys,
Well,
can we
4
get to 300 likes? I'm going to do the super chats, couple of super chats. Guys, we got over still about 500 people here. We need to get the likes to 200 likes, guys. Hit that like button. At least get us to 200 likes. Dial Square, he said 90% of our games, we will dominate the ball, sustain pressure, and pin the teams in. Last season, on average, we had the highest defensive line in Europe. He had no plan B. Now he is pureless. They can't take the flexibility. I agree with you. I don't know why Rio Ferdinand couldn't. I'm not sure if it's banter or they actually meant it. Actually, I actually don't understand if they actually meant it, to be honest. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, Arsenal defended against Spurs. It's expected. I'm waiting to see the next games. My problem was the Brighton game when you defended and you didn't win. That was my problem, to be honest. That was my problem. But big up Dal Square for the super chat. AMT saying it is the North London derby. Of course, they will over celebrate. Who did? Yeah, of course, Arsenal should. If you win away against Spurs, you celebrate. It's just a given. It is a given. It is not like.
I'm sure Will would have been going crazy if it was the other way around.
Yeah, 100%. New style of play. What are you guys even talking about? Your sample size is game week 4, but that is the sample size we have. Dominate most teams. We have become so versatile. People think it is new. No, it is new. It's you becoming way more versatile than before. Way more versatile than before. Alta. It's not like. I think that this season you will be dropping deep. You will change the way you play depending on the result within the same game. Within the same game, I think so. Listen, the last point.
Are we looking at it the wrong way though? Like,
go ahead.
He's changing up. Like he's been in there 5 seasons now. He probably goes into every game. He kind of knows what's going on, how they play. He's been here a long time. Now he probably has like a little. We play this team. Like, that's nothing wrong with that for me. Because you're never going to come to us and know how we're going to play now. You don't know if we're going to sit back, we're going to high press. Like, it's all, for me, that's like, it's a mystery kind of thing. It's only a good thing.
It is only a good thing. The last thing I wanted to actually make is one point that people, the Maresca thing. There was a talk from Dwight York that said this. And Dwight York competing sport. This is a clip that I don't have now. He said that no matter what, Chelsea and Spurs are still behind Manchester United. And they were shocked in the studio. There was Tim Cahill and stuff like this. And he's like, no, players will still choose Manchester United over Chelsea. Chelsea are behind Manchester United. And he said Spurs and Chelsea. The question was, are Man United still more attractive than Chelsea? Are Man United ahead of Chelsea and Spurs? That is why I put Maresca on the thumbnail. And he was so convinced. And he had an argument about, no, we're still the big team. We're still this. The other guy, I don't remember the guy. There's a famous guy on beIN Sports that he said, Man United aren't as big as what they think they are now. They just aren't. They are big with the money. They aren't as big as what they are now, as what they think they are. What do people think about that?
If Man United change their manager, then there may be an argument. But Chelsea right now, if we're talking like, let's say, if Cole Palmer didn't come from Man City's academy and he wasn't a Chelsea player, who would he choose out of Man United, Chelsea, and Spurs? I still think he picks Chelsea because there's a lot more unknown at Man United with their new hierarchy. And Chelsea, yes, they have had a couple of bad seasons by their remarks, but their trajectory is kind of going like that. Man United have dropped out of the Champions League, and if they didn't pull out an FA Cup Masterclass in the final, they wouldn't be in Europe. And I think there's a lot more for a player like a star player going in. I think Chelsea are a lot more. Like they've won a lot more in the last decade than Man United have. They've won a Champions League. They won a league title in the last decade. They won a Europa League. Man United have won 2 FA Cups and a League Cup and a Europa League. But if the hierarchy changes at Man United and they start bringing through, they've got Dan Ashworth at the top. If they start changing things, then there's a different argument there.
But they're still keeping the same manager.
They're both
keeping the same manager.
At Man United over Spurs. Unless we're paying out 150 grand a week more wages. And this will be the case at Tottenham until the hierarchy changes its mentality. I
think I'm saying this now. Did you think Solanke would have chosen Man United over Spurs this summer? That last summer?
I think he would
especially with
I think you chose
Exactly.
Tottenham. Man United have got Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund there.
No, but imagine if
Oh,
Man United
no,
went in
yeah.
for Solanke in the summer. Man United, if they went in for Solanke and Spurs went in for Solanke and you kept Ten Hag, that's after the decision of they kept Ten Hag and you're on Ange, who would he choose?
I still think
Do
he
you think-
chooses Tottenham because there's playing for Man United is a different pressure. You don't perform. You get absolute pelters. We're a little bit more of
But
a.
then does that come into the who's like the more bigger club, like the attractive? Because you lot, it's less pressure. So
Yeah, but it's still a
you've
lot of
got your
pressure
own-
playing at Chelsea.
no, I'm
Still
talking
a lot
about
of
Man U. Man
By the
U.
way, I don't get this. I don't get this more pressure thing, by the way, from Man United. I think this is a
perform.
bro. I think no, you don't. Rasmus Højlund.
Inter Milan
I'm
signed a
gonna
player.
give you. Rasmus Højlund didn't perform. It's okay. Garnacho's an average player, and he plays for Man United. I think
Okay,
this
let me put
notion
it
that
from
I know
your
because they have Henry, because they have the bigger media outlets and they have the bigger the pundits with Gary Neville and Roy Keane and all the stuff. We think that, but the reality is they accept the new thing of Man United. They accept mediocrity.
Okay,
The
okay.
fans-
So let me ask you something.
The fans
What's
accept
Inzaghi's-
Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund.
What's Inzaghi's goal this year? To win
Win
another
the
Scudetto,
league, win in the league, 100%.
win in the league. Okay, so if Inter Milan sign a striker or Roma sign a striker, like if Inter Milan sign Dovbek, there's a different pressure there because Inter Milan are going for a league title and Roma aren't. So there's a lot more pressure on Dovbek at Inter Milan.
So who's going for the higher? Who's going higher this season? Tottenham or Man United? In the beginning of the season, I'm gonna ask you this: the season starts. Who aims higher, Man United or Spurs? Forget what happened in the North London Derby. Forget the results that
Who
happened.
aims higher?
Who aims high? Who? Gonna ask seriously, guys.
Okay,
But
if we're
Who had
excluding these
more?
4 games,
who
yeah.
had more expectations this season? Spurs or Man
Ironic-
United?
Mo, ironically, I think they had the same expectation.
What? Spurs and Man U?
No.
Definitely Spurs. Oh my God! People
Mo,
at Man
Mo,
United,
Mo,
if they
Mo,
get
let
top
me lie,
6,
let me
they'll be
lie.
happy. Oh my
Let me
God!
lie. What I'm trying to say is that prior to the transfer window here, after the transfer window here, we saw what they both had. We had the knowledge that we had last season. We expected some Man United to definitely get top 4 because they went from 3rd to 8th. We need to see improvement. Spurs to cement where they were and also get top 4. So they were going to go up position. So for me, their targets were the same, top 4 and the trophy. Now, whether Spurs will get that trophy or not, that's by the by. And we know Man U could pick up trophy, so that would be a different scenario. So in the league, they were both expected to make top 4 for me. That's the way it is. But
I hear that.
I don't think the expectations were one here and one here. I think they're both expected to get top 4. So if one of them don't make it, is a massive drop off. So Man U don't get back.
Like
in
Man
Champions.
United, Chelsea's, and Spurs are all to try and get in that top
Yeah,
4.
all objectives were the same. Get top 4 in the trophy. All of us.
But if you're talking about who's a more attractive football club, then it
I
will
would probably say it's ours, no bias, because we spend the most money in terms of players.
Yeah, but
we
you're
have the
not
better
giving
players.
wages out no more. You're cutting that.
No,
So,
but that's the point. People still join our club despite that. That's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
So-
look at Neto. Tottenham could have.
What about
If we
Osimhen,
would have
though?
put £70 million on the table as well as Chelsea did,
He still would have chose Chelsea.
because they're going to pay more wages and they're a bigger football club.
There is a better football club. So if we paid it, for example, Jay, if we paid the same money as Spurs for the president that he's choosing us, if we paid the same money for Man United for whatever player there, I think he chooses us. Now Mo's right.
I feel like Chelsea, you got bigger. You're more attractive than Tottenham.
Yeah.
I still think Man U are still more attractive than you lot.
No,
Why?
not with
Why?
Eric
Why?
Ten Hag.
No, let me explain
no.
why.
Oh,
I'd love to know why.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Look at the
No, but
Chelsea.
listen, why
That's
do you
how I
feel
feel.
that way?
There's no. It's not about the feeling here. It's
Yeah,
about.
it's objective,
about-
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Why
not
do you feel that way?
subjective. It's what I feel. It is about feeling.
Oh,
How
so
you
fair
mean?
enough. That's fair enough.
That's
If
how
we're
I
gonna say
feel.
objectively,
You
I
asked me a
don't agree with that,
question.
'cause
I'm
I agree
asking
with
you.
Mo. I agree with Mo. I think people overrate Man United because of their history. as a club.
History.
But that's
You
the
know?
point there.
No,
It's
but
not
Chelsea's
just you.
history.
Everyone else see that.
No,
It's
but
not
Chelsea's
just us
history
that do
is
that.
a lot. The irony is Chelsea's history is also why people choose us. But people say for Man United that's the reason. It's solely the reason. They don't have any other factors. They just say because they were the biggest. club in
Bigger
England.
fan base. Bigger fan base.
Biggest fan base. This line I always hear, Jay. Yeah, I'm everyone wants to bring Man U back to the top. It's a big deal to win a Man United shirt. That was flipping not. You pay the same wage as everyone else. You win the same as everyone else. What are you really doing in the league? Nothing. What are you doing in Champions League? Group stage? What are you really doing? Like, what you really bring to the table? And if people say to me, FA Cups and Carabao Cups, is that now the standard? Is that the level?
Wallahi, Z,
If
that's
Chelsea
so
won
funny.
that-
He's gonna dislike the stream because of what
Bro.
everyone is triggered, bro.
Yeah, but be a man, man. I'll say it to your face as well. Think about it. If Chelsea won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, am I going to really sit here and go, yeah, we won it all, don't chat to me? I'll be gassed, but they ain't the level. So let's relax. I think Chelsea, the player profile-wise, and the way the club's trying to go, I do believe there's a bit of upwards. Man United, we're not sure if we haven't seen it, and Spurs are Spurs. But Man United aren't crap forever. Like Henry said, they could change the ownership.
Not crap forever.
It could work. This season they could get top 4 and look all dandy and rosy. But
Who get top 4?
Man United could get top 4. I'm saying with chest, they could.
If Man United get top 4, I know what I'm gonna do. Man United are not touching that top 4, bro.
I said Man U are gonna get top 4.
Man
I don't
United
think- I don't
aren't
think
getting
it's
top 4,
top
bro.
That's just hey Mo. It's how I feel.
So wait, using your logic then, if Man U could get top 4, are you saying Chelsea can't?
No, but I just feel like it's gonna be Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Man U. I think it's gonna be close, but I think Man U are just gonna.
Don't
Anyway.
sleep on
Not even Villa.
Newcastle,
Not even
Aston
Villa.
yeah, Newcastle.
Newcastle,
No,
guys.
I'm looking at Villa.
Villa.
Bro, Villa
I want to
points.
see how Villa.
No, I
do in
think,
the
I think
Champions
bro,
League and the
Chelsea
Prem.
have lots of freaking players, bro. They're gonna get top 4 no matter. I think Chelsea are gonna get top 4. They're gonna get top 4. I know that you don't like it, Jay, but I'm seeing it, bro. I'm seeing Chelsea getting top 4, and I can't get my head around Man United. No, Man United are gonna finish 7th. Man United and Spurs are gonna compete for 7th and 8th, bro. This
Bro,
is
let's
what is
not
gonna
use-
happen,
let's
bro.
not use too much recency bias. I'm not gonna go that far. Like,
What the fuck? What do you mean? No, I'm basing it based on logic.
I don't like when
Because they
people
kept
use-
Ten Hag. Unless they sack Ten Hag and get a Thomas Tuchel or something,
No, but
I'm
he's-
changing
he's-
my opinion.
No, but you got to be be logical with it. He's still got them 3rd and 2 trophies. So he's like, I want
No, he's atrocious, bro. He's a
no,
garbage manager. What the fuck are you
to a
talking
certain
about, bro?
degree, but he still hits certain levels.
This guy,
Oh,
every time I see
agree
this
with
guy, I
you.
get upset, bro.
I
This
agree
guy
with
is
you. I'm
trash.
going to defend them. But you can't go that far. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean that far? Eddie Howe is a better manager than him.
So why isn't Eddie Howe?
Emery's better than him, bro.
Eddie Howe can beat Poch in the FA Carabao Cup and that.
Eddie Howe, actually, since he took over during that 2 seasons that Ten Hag got, he was the 3rd best manager in the league. What are we talking? Bro, Eddie Howe plays with Emil Kraft and Dan Burn as center backs and win games, bro. Bro, just deep this, bro.
Dan Burn is.
Dan Burn and Emil Kraft, bro. I bet people don't know who Emil Kraft is. They don't know. That's the Livramento and Lewis Hall, bro. Back line of Livramento, Lewis Hall. Emil Kraft.
I actually rate Livramento.
Yeah,
But
I
he's
think
not
cold.
like amazing. You get the point. The guy is not like
he's alright.
amazing. He's
I
good,
think
but he's.
cold.
I think he's good. I think him. And
I
Hall.
think he's cold. He's
I think
definitely gonna move.
Eddie
man.
Howe is so under. Like all the people that said, "Oh, but Eddie Howe last season is this." Bro, Eddie Howe is so underrated. You guys don't understand.
He's a good
He
manager.
made Longstaff a football player that people just think about, bro. Longstaff, Longstaff, bro. That is crazy, actually. Bro, Jacob Murphy plays for a team that is challenging for top 4, bro. Jacob Murphy.
He is a squad player, though. To be fair,
Hey, he's
started
been
last
playing.
game.
He's been
He started
starting the
last
last.
He
I think the
started
last
he's
last
two.
starting
game.
against moves.
Wallah, he started
Yeah,
against
and he
Wolves,
started against
bro.
the last 2. Yeah.
He
Oh,
started-
you know what? I'm wrong.
Bro,
Oh,
Eddie
fair
Howe
enough.
is underrated, bro. You don't understand, bro.
No. I
Nah,
thought
when you put it
I saw
like
his
that-
face, I was like, he goes off the bench. I was like, no way.
Nah,
he's
when you
starting.
put it like that,
Let me
it
do
kind
this.
of makes sense.
Let me do the super chat. But I still think Chelsea will get over the line. Blaze here, last super chat before we go. Tosin literally picked up Chelsea over United, London tax as well. Now, the London
Tosin.
tax is.
He's not a
I
world-class
didn't
player.
know that the London tax thing until I actually read about it. It's actually a real thing. The players would choose London
Yeah.
over Manchester and Liverpool, actually.
That's why James Maddison chose Spurs over Newcastle.
Bro, Palmer literally left his ends.
Yeah, nah,
like,
he's
literal ends to come London, bro. Palmer was comfy. Like, Palmer was comfy, if you know what I mean.
Blaze is trolling. I feel
Massive.
Gallagher clears Odegaard and everything. Well, Blaze.
Big up, Blaze.
Big up, Blaze. Villa leading away 2-0 now. I'm telling you guys, if Villa win the first 3 games of the Champions League, they're gonna make Champions League because they're gonna rest the players for the rest of the campaign. Because we know that Villa aren't winning the Champions League. But big up everybody that stayed with us here. Brilliant show, over 200 likes, fantastic people. Listen, Shez is back. His channel is in the description. He's gonna back to Rivals Rumble. Of course, he's back streaming with us. Henry Wright is here. Brilliant debut, Henry, for the show. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Henry Wright, you guys are living under the rock. Brilliant content, videos, dailies, live shows, everything you'll find in Henry Talks Football. The channel is in the description. We need Henry to get more subscribers. He's on the way to 25K as well. He's very close to 25K. So guys, go and subscribe to the channel. And Jay, the newest member of our channel, of course, Jay, his channel is in the description. We want to get Jay monetized as soon as possible. Brilliant content, as you guys see from Jay. Big up everybody that joined us. Stay on this stream. This is going to take us to MHF for myself and Husam. I'm going to just mark him about Liverpool playing Milan. We'll talk about that as well. And I'm just going to gas my team against City. But big up everybody that joined us. Love you, people. We'll see you guys after the Liverpool game. But stay here. Don't go anywhere. This is taking you to MHF. And we'll see you guys soon. And we are out of here, people.